Are we on?
Yep.
Hello everyone, thanks for playing Diplomacy. I thought I'd do a quick video, try and keep it short, just run over a few of the basic rules because I'm getting a few questions in from people. And Caroline's just asked me how to play as well, so I thought I'd just explain to her and record it at the same time, just to kind of spread the information. So, really quickly, the objectives of the game are to control 18 supply centres. There's supply centres in some of the countries with dots in them. There's two types of areas on the map. There's countries which are land, and then there's seas. And there's also two types of units in the game. There's armies, which here are these little bullet guys, but on the map on the internet they're the little tanks. And the armies can only move on land. And the boats, however, they can move on either land or sea, but not landlocked countries. So they can only move on countries that are adjacent to the sea. Armies can cross from one land to another land over the sea using boats, using convoying. I'll come back to that in a minute. So the aim is to get more supply centres. There's 18 supply centres. It will be very difficult to get for one player to get 18 supply centres. And so generally this game is won by more than one player, maybe 2 or 3 players making a pact, potentially going, you know, we've played this for so long now that it's a stalemate, that they've got 2 superpowers essentially. But once everybody playing agrees that they've all won, then the game comes to an end. So as you're collecting supply centres, you want more supply centres to get more units. That's the way that you get more units. You start off with 3 supply centres, except for Russia, which starts with 4. I'm playing Turkey, so if my first move was to say move one of my armies out here, and then let's move this army over here. Every other turn, so at the end of the second turn and the end of the 4th turn, we count up how many supply centres we control, and the number of units that you control is adjusted to match the number of supply centres you control. So if this was the end of my second turn, I now control 1 supply centre here, because I've got an army in this country, and I also get for free all the supply centres in my home territory if nobody else is occupying them. So I've now got my original 3 plus 1, so it's 4, so I need an extra unit to be able to match the number of supply centres. So that's how I get my extra supply centre, which starts on any home country with a supply centre. So the object is to push around the board, get more supply centres that will get you more units, which will allow you to push harder. Question.
So what determines whether you get a bullet or a ship?
You can choose when you're resupplying. When we do reinforcements, you can choose what kind of troops you want.
Right.
So I think that's it for now. I'm happy to kind of field questions. I know people have already started sending me questions. That's really cool. And I think initially, if you don't know the game very well, I think just play it and see what happens. And at the moment, when we get more into the game, when people start meeting, which will happen in a turn or 2, then we'll get into combat, which is the other side to this game. I don't want to go into too much detail about that at the moment, but essentially, on every space on the board can only be occupied by 1 unit, and so if 2 units meet, there's a combat situation. People don't die in this game. There's just a standoff. So the side with the greater strength moves into that country, and that's all I want to say at the moment for that. The other question that I was asked was about convoying. So I mentioned that earlier. That's where if you wanted to move, they say I've got my army guy here, and I wanted to move him over to here. Let's say that fleet wasn't there. I can do what's called convoying. So my first turn, I can move this boat into the Black Sea. That'll be 1 move, and maybe I could hold with this troop. And then my second turn, I can say I want to convoy this army guy across the sea to this country using this boat. Now the rules are, the boat has to agree. I have to order this boat to convoy from this place to this place, and these 2 countries must be adjacent to the boat. And that's it. It's fairly obvious, really. That's how convoying works, and that's how you can get troops across the sea. Which is handy for David, who is obviously completely waterlocked being England. So that's how his little army guys going to get out of England. Any questions?
Yes. So what's the point of the countries with no supply centres in? For example, Albania.
There's just somewhere to put troops. So somewhere for people to get. That's how you get to Greece from there. So there's no benefit for occupying it, but the body's probably going to get very busy very quickly. So
I can move to Albania as a move.
Yes.
Right. So I don't have to move to a country with a spot on it.
No. So the rules of movement are each unit can move to an adjacent country. It can only move like one move per turn to an adjacent country. The country it's moving into must be vacant when it's doing that move. So like if this troop can move here and this troop can move here, because by the time this one's arrived, this one's already left on one turn. So each country can only have one unit in it every turn. And then the rules around units moving on, the armies can only move on land, and fleets can only move on non-land
Question.
things. Yes.
So we're all going to send our moves to you.
Yep.
And you're going to carry them all out.
Yes.
So what if Austria wanted to move to this place and Warsaw wanted to move to this place, and you got those orders? What would you do? Because only one person can occupy.
Okay,
is that a combat situation?
That's a combat situation. So what would happen in this case? So yeah, I've got two conflicting orders there. In this case, we add up the number of units involved. On this side 1, on this side 1. So they both attack each other with strength 1. They bounce off each other.
Do we have dice?
No dice.
Oh.
They bounce off each other, and they both go back to their originating countries.
Oh. So that's perhaps why you should talk to people and say, I'm going to go here. Are you?
Yep. Okay, to cover that off slightly then. So the way if you really wanted to move into here, and you thought they might do that, then no, I won't go into combat too much at the moment. So I'll do another video for that, and over the next one. I think this is run on a little bit too long anyway.
Okay, bye.
So thank you very much for playing. The deadline is tomorrow. It's going to be a soft deadline, so if anyone hasn't quite managed to do it, then that's cool. And I'll try and resolve all the orders and send around the results of that as soon as I can. Thank you very much.